Hello and welcome to the first ever Simply Listed tutorial. I'm so excited that you are looking at my new Mockup automation software. So let's dive right in and show you exactly how to use this software. So when you come to Simply Listed, you will sign up for a 7-day free trial, completely free, where you can check out the software. In that time, you get up to 20 listings that you can post mockups for. So whether you post 4 mockups per listing or 10 mockups per listing, it is counted per listing. And then from there, after your 7-day free trial, it's up to you on if you had chosen to sign up for our $15 per month plan where you get 100 listings per month, or our $30 per month plan, which is an unlimited amount of listings per month. So after that time, you'll be able to go ahead and log in to Simply Listed. It will tell you on the top left hand of the screen how many days left of your trial you have and how many free listings that you have to create. So taking a look, the website is super duper simple. You have your listing templates page. This is going to be where you post all of your mockups that you want us to use to grab your designs from Printify and put onto the mockups for you. Once you actually create the mockups and attach your design to it, which I'll show you what that looks like, you will have a template that looks like this, where you have all of your photos within the template. And when you actually attach a design to it, you'll click here. You'll choose the design that you have in Printify that matches that template. So in this case, this template is for a Gildan 18,000 for Monster Digital. Once you select that design and click Create Mockup, this is when you'll be charged for one of your listings. And once Simply Listed goes in and grabs your design from Printify and puts it on all these photos, it'll show up in the approval queue, which is the next page that I'll show you, and that's where you'll see the finished product. So here you'll see it automatically loads to the approval page, and you can click through these photos and see that it added the design to the front of these images and it added the design to the back of these images on our template. So again, that's when you actually get charged one of your listings. And from here, all of the listings in your approval queue, you can click Publish All to Etsy, or you can choose to publish certain ones. You also have the option to download these. You can click these 3 buttons and click Download. So that is how our software works. So now let's start from the beginning and show you how to actually connect everything. So to connect your Etsy shop and to connect your Printify shop, you'll come down here to the bottom to this little drop down and click Connections. And on this page, you can go ahead and connect your Etsy store and connect your Printify accounts. This is super simple. You'll click Connect, or if you don't have an Etsy account, you can click Sign Up for a new account, and then it will ask you permission to connect to Simply Listed, and you'll grant it access. And same with Printify, that just takes a few easy seconds to go ahead and do that. And then just to complete the tour, you can also click the My Account button, and here you'll be able to change what email is attached to your account. You'll be able to update or cancel your plan. It'll tell you when your next payment is due. And then down here at the bottom, you can change your payment plan as well if you want to change what card that your payments come out of. We also are soon adding a Sku Linking section to the website as well, which will copy and paste the SKU numbers you have on Printify to Etsy for any of those multi-item listings that you may have built. But for this tutorial, we're going to be focusing on creating mockups with Simply Listed. So the very first thing you need to do before you can use Simply Listed is you have to come to Printify and choose a product and upload your designs. So in this example, I made a design for the Gildan 18,000 sweatshirt. I added a design to the front of this sweatshirt as well as to the back. And I put this on the color blue and on the color sand. Once you've added your design to this product, I want you to pay attention to how big the print area is. So the print area for this product is this big square right here, because this is how we're going to know what size print area to add on our template. So this is maybe 4 or 5 inches from the actual arm seam here on Printify. So pay attention to that, and we will use that information again in a minute. So we'll save our product on Printify and then publish it to Etsy. So here it's up to you if you want to include your title and your description and set up your pricing now, or do that on Etsy. That's totally up to you. And you can choose what shipping profile you want to use. And then coming down here to the bottom, I would suggest doing hide in store, since you're not going to have your actual mockups uploaded onto your listing until you publish them from Simply Listed. So you can go ahead and just download the mockups that Printify has, or you can uncheck that either way, and then go ahead and click publish. Now this is going to get published to your Etsy store in your drafts section. So that's important to know. So once you've uploaded your design to Printify and published it to Etsy, then it's time to create your mockups. If you already have all of your mockups saved, then perfect. But I would recommend making sure they're all the same size. So let's take a quick peek at Canva, which is where I typically make my mockups, and I'll show you how I would actually create these to make sure that they're all the same size and optimized for your Etsy listing. Now I like to make all of my listing images 2700 by 2700 to fit the nice square look of listing images on Etsy, but you can do any size that you normally do. That's completely fine. So what I would personally do is I would get all of the photos for my listing and I would add them to the same size canvases in the order that I want them to be used. So in this case, since this design's on the front and back, I might do front back for the two colors that I'm offering. And then you can always move these in the right spot and do each one. And then I would also include any other photos you want us to upload to Etsy for you as well, like color charts, size guides, or size charts. All these images that I'm showing here are from a really beautiful mockup store called Watermelon Mocks that I really, really love. So feel free to check them out if you haven't already. So once you've got all your mockups ready, you can add anything to these that you like, exactly how you would post them. You can go ahead and share and save all of these as JPEG images. So save all 7 pages as a JPEG, and then we'll go ahead and head over to Simply Listed. Over on Simply Listed, to create a new template, we'll hit this button, New Template, here at the top. Right now, the only print production partner that we connect to is Printify, so we'll select that. And then now you want to select the product from Printify's catalog that these mockups are going to be for. So this is the Gildan 18,000, so that's what I'll type in here to the search bar and click Enter, and we'll select the Gildan 18,000. Here we're going to select which print provider we are using already on Printify. So again, you want to match what you already used on Printify. So again, in this case, I uploaded designs from Monster Digital. So that's what we want to use. So we will go down to Monster Digital and select that, or you can type it in. The next thing we have to select is the variation. So for apparel, 9 times out of 10, I just want you to select size large. All this means is it's what size print area we're going to be grabbing from Printify. Because size large and up, the print area size is going to be this 4500 by 5100 pixel size, and that's what you're used to seeing on all of your mockups. They do make the design slightly smaller when you have a small, medium, t-shirts or sweatshirts. And so what you want to do is just select size large, but honestly, any size probably would work. Here, you can choose to either upload each photo individually and make your own size canvas. You could say, I want the canvas size to be 2700 by 2700. And once you get to the editor, it's much like Canva, where you'd have to go add each page like I showed you on Canva. But because you already saved your mockups all the same size, the way that you want them, it's easier to just hit this button, choose files, and we can select all of those that we already saved at once. So we'll go ahead and select all of these in the order that we want them, and then click Upload. So now this is going to set those as the background of each of those images for us, and click Save. So here we can see it uploaded with all of the images in the order that I wanted, so that is perfect. So the next thing that we need to do is add the print area. So you'll see this print area button here at the top. It's going to ask you, do you want to add the print area for the front of the sweatshirt, the back, or the neck? Those are the 3 printing options over on Printify. And since we added our designs to the front of this sweatshirt, and this is the front of a sweatshirt picture, we'll click Front. Now, if you do have a picture of the front and back shown on your main image, which I probably would suggest for this type of listing, you can add the front image where the front print's going to go and the back image where the back print's going to go. So then you'll click Apply Image, And here, I would like you to lower the transparency, just like we do on Canva to make the mockups look really realistic. We'll bring this down to say like 91%, and then you'll move this print area where it's going to be on Printify. So again, it was like 4 or 5 inches from this seam, and so I like to make it pretty big because when you are comparing to that print area on Printify, it is really large. If you look at the neckline, it's really far past it. So if your designs aren't coming out as big as they should, it might be because you made this print area too small. You'll also notice that this print area is in front of this necklace. If you think your designs are going to need to be behind that necklace, I will also show you how to add a 3rd layer of a necklace on top so that your designs automatically from Printify get put behind a necklace. So I'll show you that in a moment as well. But we'll go through these, and the next one I'm going to add it to the back because we want this to grab the print file from Printify that we put on the back of that sweatshirt. Again, click Apply Image and bring down the opacity so it looks a little bit more real. And again, try and match up exactly how they have it on Printify. You can always tilt this if you need to. I wouldn't say I necessarily need to for this, but you can do that. Try and put it in the best spot as you can and just go through one by one and add it to each of these photos. So apply image, lower the opacity. And the beautiful thing about this is we only have to build these templates one time, and then you can reuse this over and over and over again for any design that you make. So this is going to be a super simple process. You just have to do this the once. So getting to my last one, and you don't have to upload any print areas to your size charts or color charts or anything unless you want the design added to those. So we'll make this a little bit larger, so that's perfect. So now let me show you if you have any designs that have something like this where the necklace is in the way. Let me show you a super simple way to get that taken care of. So coming back over to our mockup here on Canva, the easiest way to do that is to click the edit button on Canva, and I like to use the magic grab button. So sometimes you can just click it and you can select the item automatically, but this one's wanting to select all of her. So instead I'm going to use the brush. I'm going to make the brush a little bit smaller, and we just need to highlight this necklace because it might be in the way. It doesn't need to be perfect. This is pretty good, and we'll just kind of click around. I'll make this a little smaller and get the chain of the necklace in there. You don't even have to get the whole necklace, it's just the part that might go over a design. So then we'll click grab, and this is going to take that part of the necklace off of the layer behind it so that we have a 3rd layer, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like once we bring it over to Simply Listed. So now you can see it's grabbed just the necklace, and so you need to just click on the background but keep the necklace part just the way it is and delete the background. So now we have an image that's the same size as the other one, but only a picture of our necklace. So then you want to download this as a transparent PNG. So click transparent background, just the current page that I'm on, and click download. Then coming back over to Simply Listed, you'll want to click this image button to add another image and select that necklace or hair or whatever the piece is. And to place it, you want to click add to center because you don't want just the necklace picture to be the background. So adding that to center, it's going to add that as a 3rd layer on top of the print area. And you can see that because we made it the exact same size as the original mockup, it actually put it in just the right spot for us, right here over top of it. And if yours isn't in just the right spot, you can arrange it by sending this backwards one or sending it forward one to make sure the layers are in the right spot. But this is what you want it to look like: the main mockup photo, the print area, and then the necklace. So now when we grab that print file from Printify, we'll put it behind there. So once your template's completely done, you've done that for anything that you need to, you can also tag the colors of each of these print areas. So in this case, my design is the same on the sand as well as it is on the blue. But if you might do designs where sometimes you're doing, say, a brown design on the sand and a light blue or dark blue design on the blue for a monochromatic look, then you would want to tag these print areas. So now I can't reach the print area because the necklace is in the way. So I'm gonna send this backwards 1. That way I'm able to select the print area. And you can click this color, tag color button, and I could actually tag this the sand color. And so if you do that, it'll tag it, so that way it grabs the design file from just the sand option on Printify or just the light blue option on Printify. So I would recommend doing that if you think that you might sometimes use that feature and have different designs. Even if you don't put different designs on it all the time, it will still grab the correct image if all of them have the same one. So once you've done that and tagged it, you can bring your print area back behind, say, the necklace, for example. You'll need to save your template. So this is going to be my Gildan 18,000 template. And then you'll click save. Now this will tell you if some of the pages don't have a print area. It's okay if they don't. That's just talking about the size chart and the size guide, but it does warn you just in case you forgot any pages. So anytime you create a new template with Simply Listed, I want you to test it first. So you'll click these 3 buttons and click this test button. This is going to pull up all of the Printify products that match this template. So in this case, again, it's the Gildan 18,000 from Monster Digital. So you can choose one product to test it with. So I'll choose this design here and click Test Mockup. Now this is going to go grab the design files from your Printify account and add those designs to the mockup. So again, this is why you need to have already connected your Printify account so we can go grab those for you. And so here you can see the preview. We do have our watermarks on these images, but you can see it put the design in the exact right spot. It put it on the back, and if the design was going to be behind the necklace, it will be behind the necklace. Obviously in this case, it's not needed, but it's nice that it's already set up that way for you. So now we know that this template is working. We can actually go ahead and attach our designs. So to permanently grab the images from Printify, make sure you're selected on the correct Etsy account. In this example, I have my Mockup store, Etsy shop connected, and Simply Listed. So I'll switch back to the right one where I publish the products for sale. And there's a couple ways you can attach your designs from Printify. You can just click the image, you can click this little paperclip button, or you can click these 3 dots and click attach artwork. Either of these do the exact same thing. So I just like clicking the main image, and this again will pull up all of the products on Printify that are a product with Monster Digital and the Gildan 18,000. And we can select to make designs for any or all of these, as many as you want. So if you have a lot of designs that you created today for this product, you can bulk make the mockups for all of them. So we'll click the Create Mockup button, and this will take just a little while to go actually grab all of those images, put them on each photo, and then save them. And again, at this point is when it actually uses your credits for your listing credits. So that's why we want to test things before we're getting to this point, just in case maybe you put the print area in the wrong spot. Now it will bring you directly to the approval queue area. And now you can see it created the mockups for all of the images that I selected, and it also has all of the ones from the size charts and everything as well. And then you can see they've all been created. So super great. If the listing on Printify doesn't have a design, say, on the back, it's not going to add anything to that one. So you can see this one, I didn't add something to the back of the images, but these 3 all do. And once you are ready and you're happy with your designs, you can go ahead and publish them to Etsy. But let's say one of them just maybe for some reason didn't look just quite right. It was just a little bit different for some reason than some of the other ones. You can also edit these right here at this point. You can edit these exact mockups. So for some reason you weren't happy with something, you're like, you know, just for this one mockup, the design looks a little bit too bright. So you could come in here and you could say, grab which layered element and say, okay, I need to edit just the actual image, and say lower the opacity a little bit more. Maybe it looks a little bit too bright, whatever the issue might be. If you need to reposition it slightly just for this one, then you can, and go ahead and click save. And that will edit just these particular mockups, not the original original template. If all of them are a little bit off, then that means that you need to go back and edit the original template instead. But once you have it just the way that you want it, you can click publish all of them to Etsy to bulk publish all of them, or you can click just publish to Etsy for, say, one of these. And this is the only one that I already published to Etsy, because again, the design has to be published from Printify to Etsy first, and we'll click publish to Etsy, and now you'll see the mockup has been published successfully. So we'll come over to Etsy and we will refresh it, and you'll see that it is currently uploading the mockups, and it might take just a moment for all 4 of them or all 7 of them to come across. And here we are. So now you can see these have been uploaded to your Etsy shop. They have taken off all of the Printify ones. And so this is great if you need to rearrange them. I don't know why that one's out of order, and click apply. Then you just need to finalize your listing and publish it with the changes, and you're all set. A few other things that you can do when you're on the dashboard and you click the 3 dots is you can duplicate this template to make a matching template with all the same photos, but then you can edit it if you need to a little bit different. So let's say you want to have one template that has a certain set of colors, and then you want to make another template and just add one more color image. That's when that could be useful. Or you can edit the print provider. So let's say you've been using Monster Digital for a long time, but you want to switch to, say, using SwiftPOD for all of your mockups, then you'd click edit print provider, and this will actually make you a new template and start you from the beginning. So if you click edit print provider, this is going to start you back from the beginning. So you'd say select Printify, make sure that it's the correct product, click enter. And then here, now you'll choose the new print provider. So in this example I'm talking about, that would be SwiftPOD. Again, we'll choose size large for all of our apparel options. And then here, now since it's a new one, you need to re-add all your print areas from SwiftPOD. And you can see they have some different options, like the left sleeve and the right sleeve. So you can go ahead and add those to all of these templates and then save it. And then you will have the different template from SwiftPOD now, so I won't go in and change this much just because we're just doing this for a quick time. But it will bring the, say, necklace or anything with you, which is really nice. So that way you don't have to redo any of those pieces if you're switching the print provider. And once you've got it done, we'll say this one's the SwiftPOD Gildan 18,000. And you can make templates for anything. If you want to make a Halloween template, a Christmas template, that way anytime you go to make mockups for any type of listing, they're already set and saved all within here. So we'll save that, and then now you'll see we have our Monster Digital template, and now we also have our SwiftPOD template, just as simple as that. Now, the last 2 parts of our tutorial, I want to show you 2 more specific products that are a little bit different for creating mockups for. The first one is ornaments, and then the next one is mugs. So if you're not going to be posting any ornaments, feel free to skip this part and watch the mug one, or vice versa, but you might need some of these skills to know how to use our software, so feel free to watch the whole thing. So this one here you can see is what it'll look like with a finalized template for an ornament. But this is working a lot like with the hair, where I've actually added a layer on top of this to sandwich in between, because this is a circle ornament, but you can see that the print area from Printify on an ornament is actually a square design. And so if you have a design that has, say, marbling in the background or some kind of background at all to your ornament, then if you just put this print area over top of this circle, it's not going to look right. And so that's why you'll want to make another version of your mock-up photo with a cutout to sandwich in between to make sure that this looks correct once you've printed it. And so let me show you how to do this, since it's a little bit different than the way that I did it with the magic grab and the necklace, for example. Coming back over to Canva, we have that image of the ornament here. If we try to do the same thing and use the magic grab, it doesn't actually work. It looks like it's going to, but the problem is we need the picture of the ornament, the white part, to actually be behind the image for the times where you make designs that don't have a background. And this just doesn't quite work. What we need is a cutout, erased part in the middle of the image, not just to move this. So that's when we're actually going to be using a software called photop.com. You can also use Photoshop if you have that, but this software is completely free, so that is really nice. So you'll just go to photop.com and click open from computer and upload that mock-up of your ornament. Now here, this is super simple, I promise. Usually, all you need to do is come to this eraser button on the left and click Magic Eraser. And now here, you can just select the ornament and it'll cut it completely out for you. Now sometimes this works perfect and you can just save this as is, but mine actually cut out a piece of the snow on accident, which if you have a really white background behind an ornament, you might have the same issue. So if your mockup happens to work perfect, then all you do from here is click File, Export As, and download it as a JPEG. But if yours is like mine and doesn't quite work perfectly, then we will do Edit, Undo, Edit, Undo, and we're gonna have to do this a little bit more manually. Trust me, it's not too bad, but it's a little bit more manual, like I said. So here we're going to select this magnetic lasso, and we'll do the magnetic lasso. And here we have to kind of go slow, and we're gonna slowly use this line to tell it what we want cut out. So I will start up here by the string, and then I'm gonna slowly let it kind of follow along this line. You don't wanna go too fast because then it might try and grab the wrong thing. Hopefully you can see that little teeny line there getting grabbed. So you might be able to go a little bit quick, but just be careful because you don't want it to kind of grab anything like the snow did in the last example. So up here, I might come back and have it redo this. You can click if you need to, if it's not grabbing the right spot, but I'm really just kind of letting it drag. So here, I didn't like how it did that part, so I'm gonna come let it click and click along this edge to make sure it gets a really nice clean cut. So most of the time I'm just kind of letting it grab it, but sometimes, again, I'm going back to kind of make it get a better spot. And I'm gonna click right here at the end of this and follow this thing around. I want to also cut out this little circle, make sure it grabs in all the right spots. So this takes a minute, but again, you only have to do this once, which is nice. All right, once we got back to the beginning, I clicked, and now you can see it's a magic lasso. I'm just gonna click the delete button. So now the whole area is deleted. Looks like I did kind of leave behind this little teeny spot, so you can always undo and restart if yours gets real wonky and is giving you trouble like these. But again, this just takes a couple of minutes. And once you've got it the way that you want it, you'll click File again, Export as a JPEG. Once you've got it that way, then again, like I showed you here, you will upload that as an image on top of the file. So you'll have your file, your regular mockup, you'll add your print area, and you'll put it over top of that circle exactly. Oh, like just as big as it needs to be, no bigger. So like here you can see I'm just barely covering the side, barely covering the bottom to try and make it line up as good as possible. And then you'll upload using this image button, the image of the one with the cutout. So the back one doesn't have a cutout, the front one does, and try and line it up perfect. And now when you save this template and use it, it won't show the square of the print area, it'll just show what's within that circle, and it'll make it look like it has the little see-through peephole as well. So just to show you what that looks like, here is an image where it's just a transparent background on my ornament design and what it looks like put onto that mock-up. And then here's one that's a good example where it has kind of a marbled background that I would have been able to see the actual edges of that one if I didn't put that layer on top. Lastly, let's talk about making mock-up templates for mugs or other products that have a wrap-around design of some kind. So coming into Printify, I'm just using a random mug for an example. Typically, what some people do to make their designs is they make the design on one side, they come here to Printify and they duplicate it, and they add it to the other side of the mug. That way the design is printed on both sides. We, unfortunately, with Simply Listed, can't grab two separate files from the same print area like this. So when you're actually uploading the design to Printify, you will have to actually save the design just like this. So to do that, if you click this info button, you'll see this total print area rectangle is 2700 by 1120, and you'll go make a canvas in, say, Canva or Kittl, wherever you make your mockups normally or your designs. You'll make a canvas of that size and add the design to both of these areas. To make sure you're lining it up just like you normally would here in Printify, you can always download their design template. So coming over here to Canva, this is basically what it would look like. You would make your canvas, that 2700 by 1120, and you'd put your designs in the two spots that you want it. If you're, again, not sure exactly where to put it, this is the guide from Printify. So you'd make it the same size as the image. It's probably easier if you just set it as the background, honestly. And then now here you can see, just like on Printify, this little dotted line is going to be where you want to line up your design and center to make sure it's centered in, say, the front and the back of the mug. And then before you save your design, make sure that you click the background and delete it or make it transparent. So now you'll save that design as a transparent PNG, and we can upload that to Printify. That way we can make the mockups for you. So now I uploaded just the one design file that I just saved from Canva. We can see that it's perfectly lined up, just like how we wanted it. We'll save this product and publish it to Etsy, because again, all items need to be published to Etsy for us to actually create the mockups for them. So go ahead and publish this to your Etsy shop. Again, you can click Hide in Store if you don't want the mockups from Printify to be shown before you get your Simply Listed mockups up there. So coming over to Simply Listed, we'll need to add our print areas just like normal. But again, that print area for the mug is 2700 by 1120, and that's going to be the full wraparound. Our mockup is just the front or just the back of the actual mug. So we have to do things a little bit differently than on some other products. Again, you can lower the opacity like normal to make it look a little bit more realistic. But here we're going to actually make this the same size as the item. So again, the print area is a little bit below the lip, a little bit above the bottom, but you can see this is too big. So this is when we're going to be using a new feature, which is the crop feature. When you click this crop button, you have to click it twice. You'll see these little dots show up on the sides. And so here we want to crop it to where the design actually is going to show up. So maybe about right here at the edge of the mug. But if you notice here, if I click this reposition button, right now it's going to show the center of the print area on Printify on our mockups. But the center in our example right here is completely blank. So we actually want to show either the left side or the right side in this example. So we'll reposition this, but it can be a tiny bit glitchy sometimes, so just go really slow and just kind of like inch it over. And in this example, you want to try and again make it look just like it is on the print area. So if you see here on Printify, we have kind of a big white space before the design starts. So like always, we want to try and match what it is on Printify. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a white space and click Apply Image. And then I can duplicate this. You can click this clone button. And now I have another print area to put over here on this mug if you are showing both sides. If both sides of the mug are the same, honestly, you could leave it, but it does look like this changed the print area position a little bit. So I'm going to move this again and click Apply and make sure it applied my other one. Yep, okay, perfect. So once you've got your print areas on all of your images cropped and positioned in the correct spot, again, we'll click Save. Now this again is very important to test your mockups before creating them to make sure that you put it in the correct spot. So we'll go ahead and test this one to make sure that it's right before we create any mockups with it. So we'll click those three dots and click test. And this is going to, again, pull up any design I added to that exact matching Printify product. If this says no products found, then that means that you have not uploaded the design to Printify just yet for them to be able to grab. So we'll select that and click test mockup and make sure that this looks correct. If it doesn't, go back and actually edit your template before creating mockups for your product. So looking here at the templates, it does look like the design on the left is in the right spot, but see my design on the right, maybe there's just like a little bit too much space before it gets to the mug. This center one, let's see how this one looks. That one maybe could be a little bit bigger, but I think it's close. And then this last one here, I think maybe needs to be moved a teeny bit to the right. So again, this is why we're testing before we're actually using them, because this is going to do the same thing to every single design. So coming back in here, I'm going to fix the repositioning and move the design over just a little bit so there's less space on that side, and click apply. And then I think this one was a little bit off as well, and click apply, and so on. Go fix any of them that might need a little bit of a different placement. Oh, see, that got glitchy. So let me move this back over. For me, both sides of the mug are the same, so I'll just move it right there and click apply. And now we will click save, and we'll retest the template until it's correct before again using it for our mockups. I hope you loved this tutorial of Simply Listed. Again, I know it's a little bit to set up your templates in the first place, but you do only need to do this once per template. And from now on, you'll be able to just come in here once you've added your designs to Printify, select this, select all of your designs, and publish them to Etsy. And it should save you so much time in your print-on-demand business. But drop any comments down below of any other tutorials that you want or questions that you have here, because we are happy to help in any way we can. And if you do have any questions at all while using our software, we do have a chat box right down here at the bottom right of all the screens of how can we help you with Simply Listed. We do have support staff Eastern time from about 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you ask us questions after that, we'll get back to you the next morning as quickly as we can. And if you're not live to chat back with us, you will just get the answers back in your email. And thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.